Namaskaram friends. So in this video I am going to talk about 5 important issues which are making news recently, and these issues are varying in different arena. So first topic of today's discussion is microbes, or you can say termites, its role in producing carbon dioxide in atmosphere and what is the impact of temperature on termites. Okay, second one is I am going to talk about heat dome, how it occur and what is its impact on the life of human being. Third one is I am going to talk about ancient monument and archaeological site and remains act, amsar act, as well as the role of ASI and Ministry of Culture in this regard. In fourth one I am going to talk about a protest by Jain community for protection of some sacred hill in the state of Gujarat as well as Jharkhand. And fifth one is I am going to talk about United Nations Population Fund as well as the role of this fund in securing or in helping the giving education to the needy people in the area of health, maternal health as well as sexual education. Okay, so these are 5 important topics which I am going to talk about very briefly about each and every topic. Okay, so first one is I am going to talk about termites. A recent study has found that termites decompose wood at a much higher rate in warmer condition. Okay, if condition is warmer, if temperature is increases, rate of decomposition of wood is increases by the termites. Okay, and it is said that for every 10 degrees Celsius increase in the temperature, their decomposition activity goes up by the almost 7 times. Okay, that means if temperature rises 10 degrees, 7 times activity of the termites is increases. If it 20 times, 14 times, 14 times its activity is increases. That means proportion is 10 raised to 7. Whatever the amount of temperature increases at if 10%, if 10 degree increases, then 7 times. If 20 degree, 14 times. That means proportion is 10 raised to 7 increase of temperature as well as the rate of decomposition by the termites. Okay, the study also revealed that as the earth gets warmer, we know that due to climate change, it is a very important report by the IPCC as well as meeting going on, COP meeting was going on, in which we are tackling with the climate because our earth is going warmer and warmer day by day, year by year. So the study also revealed that as the earth gets warmer, termites will rapidly spread across the world. Okay, as the earth gets warmer, rapidly increase of termite occur across the world. Sorry, this could in turn lead to a further rise in global temperature. How? Because these small insects, while consuming dead wood, release carbon in the atmosphere. Okay, temperature increases, spread of termite increases. When termites decompose the wood, they release carbon in the atmosphere, and we know that due to carbon, global temperature of earth increases. So as temperature rises, temperature rise happen, increase of termite happen. When increase of termite, further increase of temperature happen of the atmosphere. That means it double fold increase of earth is happen due to the increase of temperature. The researcher also observed that these wood eating termite were able to survive in warm and dry conditions, unlike microbe that need a water to grow. Okay, so these termites are grow, or you can say survive in warm as well as dry condition, and we know that it is unlike microbes that are surviving in the that need water to grow. Therefore, with tropicalization means warming shift to tropical climate. Okay, so due to with tropicalization, termite wood decay will likely increase as termites access more of earth's surface. Okay, it is very clear due to tropicalization, because when warming shift to tropical climate, spread of termite happen, wood decay increases, and therefore temperature of earth as well as also increases because these termites are accessing more of earth's surface. Although these insects are already found in colder area, they play a limited role in the decaying of wood in comparison to fungi and bacteria. They are decaying, but they role a limited role as compared to fungi as well as bacteria in the colder region. As a tree grow older, certain parts of it die and become dead wood. Okay, we know that when life cycle of tree is closing to its dead, so some part of trees become a dead wood, which is eventually decomposed by the microbes and insect like termite. Okay, dead wood is decomposed by these microbes. The decaying of a dead wood result in the release of not only a variety of nutrient but also carbon dioxide. Okay, in dead wood release of nutrient happen, but at the same time release of carbon also happen. And termite eat decompose this dead wood and release carbon dioxide as well as methane in the atmosphere. According to the study, termites release carbon from dead wood in the form of carbon dioxide and methane. Okay, the form of termite release carbon but in the form of carbon dioxide as well as methane, two of the most important greenhouse gases. We know that carbon dioxide and methane are the two of the most greenhouse gases, and termites release these gases in the atmosphere by decomposing dead wood. Okay, so an increase in termite population and their faster decomposing activity can cause more greenhouse gas emission, resulting in a hotter planet. Okay, as temperature increases, planet become hotter, and we also know that as temperature increases due to tropicalization, spread of termite increases on the surface of earth and they consume dead wood. Their rate is also increases, and we know that after they when dead wood release nutrient and as well as the carbon dioxide, termite also release the carbon dioxide. So due to increase of the temperature of earth is increases multifold, not only due to that temperature but also due to dead wood and also due to termite. Okay, because there are three factors: temperature increases, earth's temperature increases. Due to temperature increase, dead wood rate of, you can say, decomposition of dead wood happen on a faster rate. They releases carbon also, and we know that spread of termite happen, and this termite also releases carbon in the form of carbon dioxide and methane, which are two most important greenhouse gases which increases the temperature of the planet earth. So I hope you understand the whole idea about microbes as well as dead wood as well as termites. Now we are going to solve one question of it. Very carefully listen each and every statement and make it correct as well as wrong, and after that we are choosing our option which one is correct. So first statement is, as tree grow older, certain part of it become dead wood which is eventually decomposed by microbes and insects like termite. Yes, this one is correct. We are talking about it in the discussion. Second one is, termites release carbon from dead wood in the form of carbon dioxide and methane. Yes, this statement is also correct. Third one is, as temperature rises, the decomposition activity of the termite reduces accordingly. No, this one is wrong, because we know that as temperature rises, decomposition activity of the termite increases 7 times. If increase in temperature happen 10 degrees, then the rate of increase of decomposition is occur 7 times. Okay, so statement 1 is true, statement second is true, statement third is wrong. Let's check which option is correct. A is 1 and 2, B is 1 and 3, C is 2 and 3, D is 1, 2 and 3. So option A is correct. That means 1 and 2 is correct. So I hope you understand the whole idea of termites. Now we are moving on to the next topic called dome, heat dome. So a heat dome occurs when an area of high pressure trap warm air over a region. Okay, heat dome types of phenomena occur when an area of high pressure trap warm air over a region, in any particular region, just like a lid on a pot. You see a pot, just like a lid on the pot, area over an area high pressure region trap the warm air for an extended period of time, not for a limited time, for an extended period of time. The longer the air remains trapped, the more the sun works to heat the air. Okay, as long as the air remains trapped in the high pressure area, the more the sun works to heat the air, producing warmer condition with every passing day. Okay, and this with every passing day, condition of that place become warmer and warmer. Heat domes generally stay for a few days, but sometimes they can extend it up to a week, which might cause deadly heat waves. Okay, this is a natural phenomenon that wherever a high pressure region come, they trap the air for some amount of time, and it act like and sun warm that area as long as that air is trapped in the high pressure region, and this is trapped for an extended period of time. But for it is generally naturally for trapped for 1 or 2 days, but generally for most, you can say for many occasion, it also trapped the heat for a week. Okay, and this create a deadly heat wave like condition. Scientists suggest that any region of high pressure where a heat dome, whether a heat dome or not, any area region of a high pressure, whether it is a heat dome or not, we know that heat dome is a form due to certain condition, but any area where high pressure is occur, whether that region is a heat dome or not, forces air to sink, and once it reaches the ground, okay, any area of high pressure forces the air to sink, and once it reaches the ground, once air reaches the ground, that area try to sink the forces of the air. That air get compressed and become even warmer. Moreover, when air sinks, it gets drier and further raises the temperature of the area. Okay, so two to three important point. Any higher pressure area trap the air. When that air reaches the ground, it get compressed and become even warmer. Okay, when that air go to the ground, it be compressed and become even warmer, and as the air gets sink to the ground, it gets drier and further raises the temperature of the area. So there are 2-3 factors. First one is it is compressed, that's why it create warmer situation, and second one, it get drier and further raises the temperature of the area. So remember 2 to 3 important aspect of the air: due to heat dome, due to sink, due to compression, and due to dryness. Due to compression, heat increases; due to dryness, heat increases; and due to trapping, heat increases. Okay, in heat dome area, due to trapping, heat increases. Even area where not heat dam like situation happen, there due to compression as well as due to dryness, heat area of that region become warmer. The heat dome formation is related to the behavior of the jet stream. Okay, so heat dome formation is very much related to the behavior of a jet stream. Jet stream, an area of fast moving air high in the atmosphere. High in the atmosphere, an area where air is moving in a fast rate, that area is called a jet stream. The jet stream is believed to have a wave like pattern. Okay, when you see like a wave in the ocean, so pattern of jet stream is like wave like pattern. Okay, that keeps moving from north to south. We know that waves moving from up and down. In the same manner, jet streams of moving from north to south and then north again. Okay, it moves north, then south, then north. So in this manner, jet streams are moving. When these waves get bigger and elongated, they move slowly and sometimes can become stationary. Okay, when these jet streams are bigger and elongated, or when it is small and not elongated, they stay here for some amount of time. But when these jet streams are bigger and elongated, they move slowly and sometimes become stationary. And due to this is when a high pressure system get stuck and leads to the occurrence of a heat dome. Okay, when this high pressure system is stuck, then any region where a high pressure situation is occurring, that trap the air for a longer period of time, and it created a heat dome like situation. Okay, next one is, although heat dome are likely to have always existed, researchers say that climate change may be making them more intense and longer. See, there are natural phenomena which is occurring in the creation, but due to man-made activity, this phenomena get more, you can say, enhanced, and it create a problem for the human being. Just like this, heat domes are likely to have always existed. They are always existed because they are a natural part of the natural cycle. But researchers say that climate change is a, you can say, result of the human mismanagement of the nature. So researchers say that due to climate change may be making them more intense and longer. When it is intense and longer, heat dome like situation is worsening the temperature of the earth and created problem for the life form. So I hope you understand the whole idea of heat dome. Now we are moving on to solving one question based on heat domes. Statement 1 is, a heat dome occurs when an area of a high pressure traps warm air over a region for an extended period of time. Yes, first one is correct. The jet stream in an area of fast moving air high in the atmosphere. Yes, this one is also correct. Third one is, the heat domes formation does not have any relation to the behavior of jet stream. This one is wrong, because behavior of jet stream is directly related with the formation of heat wave. That means statement 2 is wrong. Statement 3 is wrong. So statement 1 and 2 is correct. Just check which option is correct. A is 2 only, B is 1 and 2, C is 2 and 3, D is 1, 2 and 3. So option B is correct. That means 1 and 2 is correct. So I hope you understand few important you can say information related to heat waves. Now we are moving to third question called Amsar Act, Ancient Monument and Archaeological Science and Remains Act. So the Ancient Monument and Archaeological Site and Remains Act regulates, or you can simply call it as a AMSAR Act. You can call it simply as a AMSAR Act, Ancient Monument and Archaeological Site and Remains Act. AMSAR Act regulate the preservation of monuments and archaeological sites of national importance. So AMSAR Act, through this act regulate the preservation of monument and archaeological sites of national importance. Emphasize national importance, not all the monument and archaeological sites, because there are many monuments and archaeological sites are present in the India. So monument and archaeological sites of national importance is regulated by the AMSAR Act. The Archaeological Survey of India, which is under the aegis of the Union Ministry of Culture, function under this act. So under this act, ASI is function which is under the which comes under the aegis of the Ministry of Culture. AMSAR Act provides monuments and sites that are more than 100 years old, including temples, cemeteries, inscription, tomb, forts, palaces, steps walls, rock cut caves, and even objects like cannons and mile pillars that may be of a historical significance. So remember important monuments which are preserved under the AMSAR Act, and remember national importance, more than 100 years. These are key words. Not all the monuments of national importance, not of any age, monuments of more than 100 years old, and these include temples. Remember temples, cemeteries, inscription which is written down on walls, on pillars, tombs like Humayun tomb, temples like Kailash temples, cemeteries which are present in different part of the country, forts like forts in Rajasthan, palaces Rajasthan, stepwells which are in Gujarat. On many places, I just give you as example like stepwells like Gujarat, rock cut caves like Mahabalipuram of Tamil Nadu. So these are the example which SI protected it through the AMSAR Act, which and this SI is function under the Ministry of Culture. Next one is according to the provision of the AMSAR Act. Okay, according to this provision of this act, SI officials are supposed to regularly inspect the monument to assess their condition. Okay, so it is mandated through this act that SI officer time to time assess the condition of the monument. It is in a good condition or not. If not, they preserve that monument. For example, I see in the Humayun tomb, when I visited Humayun tomb, then I see that there are some restoration work is going on, because due to, you can say, wind, some part of it is demolished. So it is restoration activity is going on, and it is conducted through the SI official. Apart from various conservation and preservation operations, SI official can also file police complaint, issue so cause notice for the removal of encroachment. Okay, there are many work which is done by the SI, and in this work one aspect is also added. Apart from various conservation and preservation operation, it conserve and preserve various operation, but if encroachment is happening on that site, then SI official can also file police complaint and issue so cause notices for the removal of encroachment, and communicate to the local administration the need for demolition of encroachment. Okay, so SI official preserve the site, conserve the site, and if some people encroach it, they file a police complaint as well as issue so cause notice, and communicate with the local administration for the demolition of that encroachment. So I hope you understand the whole idea of Archaeological Survey of India, AMSAR Act, Ministry of Culture, as well as preservation and conservation work done by the SI. And also remember, monument of national importance and which are more than 100 years old are preserved under this act, and activities, and you can say inspection activities and assess like situation is conducted by the SI officials. Now we are going to solve one question based on AMSAR Act. Consider the following statement regarding Ancient Monument and Archaeological Sites and Remains Act, AMSAR Act. First statement is, the Ancient Monument and Archaeological Sites and Remains Act regulate the preservation of monuments and archaeological sites of the national importance in India. Yes, this one is correct. Sites of national importance. Okay, first statement is correct. Second one is, the Archaeological Survey of India, which is under the aegis of the Union Ministry of Culture, function under the AMSAR Act. Yes, SI function under the AMSAR Act, and it is under the aegis of Union Ministry of Culture. Statement 2 is also correct. Statement 3 is, the act protect monument and site that are more than 100 years old, including cemeteries, inscriptions, step walls, and rock caves. So statement 3 is also correct. That means all the statement are correct. Just look at the option. Option A is 1 and 2, option B is 1 and 3, option C is 2 and 3, option D is 1, 2 and 3. That means option D is correct. 1, 2 and 3, all the statement are correct. Now we are moving on to the next topic, which is related to the protest by the Jain communities. So members of the Jain community have been staging protest in Gujarat, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra and New Delhi. Okay, they staging protest in this state and union territory for the past 2 weeks over demands related to the two holy sites. In the past 2 weeks, that means from the, you can say, in the last week of December and the first week of January. From the last 2 weeks in this in the last, that means in the last week of December 2022 and the first week of January 2023, from these 2 weeks the protest is conducted, or you can say Jain community staging protest in these areas. And the reason for the protest is over demands relating to the two holy sites. First one is Samed Sikhar on Parasnath Hill in Jharkhand, in the state of Jharkhand. On Parasnath Hill, a Samed Sikhar, which is a very, you can say, sacred place for the Jain community. And second one is Sretunjay Hill in the Palitana of Gujarat. So in Gujarat there is a region called Palitana. There that hill is present. So for the Samed Sikhar of Parasnath Hill and Sretunjay Hills of in the Gujarat, for the protection of this, the Jain community is staging protest, because the argument is that government declare it as a tourist place, and the concern of the Jain community is that they said if government open these places for the tourist place, many people come here, not just like for you can say worshipping or meditation or for doing rituals. They come here just for a picnic purpose, selfie purpose, and destroy many things, and you can say may threaten the holiness nature of that place. Okay, so this is the argument given by the Jain community, and argument by the government is that they declare these places as a tourist place so that that region become also economically viable, and people who are living here you can say use this opportunity for their you can say economic activity and prosperness. But we have to find a balance between two, because you can say holiness of this place is also required, and economic activity is also required for the people. So we have to choose a middle path in which that place is also remains sacred, and as well as people who are living in there also got some economic opportunity to do through other means. Okay, the Jains are demanding that Sretunjay Hills and the area around it be protected so as to maintain its holiness. What I am talking about, that means they want to protect the Sretunjay Hills and well as the area around it, so that they maintain or protect the holiness nature of that place. So I hope you understand the two important Sikhraj. One is in Gujarat and second one is Jharkhand. And government state government of Jharkhand and Gujarat declare it as a tourism place, tourist site. That's why these people, that community is protected for the keeping that place a holy place and sacred place, and not making them as a tourist place. Okay, now we are going to solve one question based on it. Question is Sretunjay Hill, a holy site for Jain, which were recently in News is located in. We know that Sretunjay Hill, it is located in Gujarat, and Samed Sikhar is located in the Jharkhand on the Parasnath Hills. So option is, first one is Rajasthan, second one is Maharashtra, third one is Gujarat, fourth one is Madhya Pradesh. So we know that Sretunjay Hill is located in Gujarat. That means option C is correct. Okay, now we are moving on to the next question called UNFP, United Nations Population Fund. United Nations Fund for Population Activity, or you can simply call it as a UNFPA, is the United Nations Sexual and Reproductive Health Agency. UNFPA is the United Nations Sexual and Reproductive Health Agency. UNFPA is formally named as the United Nations Population Fund. So okay, so UNPA as well as UNFPA both are the same. Just formally it is called UNFPA, or normally it is called United Nations Fund for Population Activity, and know that it is the United Nations Sexual and Reproductive Health Agency. The organization was created in 1969. The same year, the United Nations General Assembly declared parents have the exclusive right to determine freely and responsibly the number and spacing of their children. Okay, the year United Nations General Assembly announced this thing, at this year this organization UNFPA is created. UNFPA calls for the realization of reproductive rights for all, and support access to a wide range of sexual and reproductive health services. So UNFPA support access to a wide range of sexual and reproductive health services, including voluntary family planning, maternal health care, and comprehensive sexuality education. So remember, UNFPA is responsible for all these things, providing you can say services like voluntary family planning. People have a voluntary choice to how they plan their family. Maternal health care, we know that during the birth of a child, most of the mother are died, so we have to take care of the maternal health also, as well as comprehensive sexual education. Due to the lack of this education, many people got to AIDS. Many people are not you can say know about it, so they do it in a unprotected manner, and which is problematic for the both partner. Okay, so I hope you understand the both important aspect related to UNFPA, its supports, its ranges, its services, as well as when it is formed. Now we are going to solve one question based on the UNFPA. First one is, United Nations Population Fund is the United Nations Sexual and Reproductive Health Agency. Yes, UNFPA is simply called as United Nations Fund for Population, or UNFPA. Formally it is called as UNFPA. So statement 1 is correct. Statement 2 is, the United Nations General Assembly had declared that parents have the exclusive right to determine freely and responsibility the number and spacing of their children. So statement 2 is also correct. Question is, which of the above statement is incorrect? So both one is correct. That means option is neither one neither two. Let's check where it is. A is 1 only, B is 2 only, C is both 1 and 2, D is neither 1 nor 2. That means option D is correct, neither 1 nor 2. Okay, so I hope you understand the all important 5 topics of today's discussion, which are: first one is related to termite, second one is related to heat dome, third one is related to AMSA Act, fourth one is related to protest by the Jain community, and fifth one is related to the UNFPA, or United Nations Population Fund. So I hope you understand the discussion in a best possible manner and gain some perspective, some knowledge out of it. So namaskaram, thank you.